What are you barking at? What do you see?
Nerds.
Nerds. I'm Batman.
Now that's a real badge. I'm a real cop, and this is a real fucking gun.
He's got a knife.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
What's happening? Hot stuff?
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Awesome 80s Podcast. This is Michael.
This is Lawrence. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Glenn. How are you?
I'm great. Cubs almost just hit a home run, but then it didn't happen.
Well, things happen. You know, what are you going to do? Just quick commentary. It's not, but it's worth watching, you know.
You know.
I think, it's actually a product you'd be interested to watch on TV. You would check that box. Would you be interested in watching this product on TV? Yes, I would. I would like to see the 2015 Cubs on TV.
Wow, he's already at 40 pitches, and we're only in the one out into the second. That's a lot.
Oh man, I went to Game 1 against the Cardinals of that 4-game series, and that starting pitcher was out in the 4th inning. He was at it was it's a learning experience. What are you gonna do? Anyway, we're here to talk about. What are we here to talk about, Glenn?
We're here to talk about one of the most feels movies of the 80s. Hey, that kid from 3 Minute Little Baby, the ghost was just behind you.
No, that wasn't it.
I just saw it.
We're broadcasting live with the baby, but the baby's asleep. So.
Oh, I saw a ghost.
It was a ghost, yes.
Okay. This movie has lots of feels.
Yeah, I'd say it has feels. When you say it has feels,
lots of feels. What movie are we talking about?
We're going to talk about the 1989 classic Field of Dreams.
First,
I just committed something totally illogical.
That's what I like about it.
If you build it, he will come.
I think I know what "if you build it, he will come" means.
Ooh, why do I not think this is?
Daddy, there's a man out there on your lawn. Are you a ghost?
What do you think?
You look real to me.
So, Field of Dreams.
The Field of Dreams.
Yes.
So, we're going to talk about this movie, but real quick, I want to point out the obvious. How many gray hairs am I getting?
I don't know, Glenn. But you're still handsome to me. You may have a few gray hairs, but you're still looking good to me.
Yeah, thank you for that. But I'm looking here, and it's like now it's just like.
Because that new Logitech HD camera brought to you by our fans.
Thanks, fans. Thanks, Pointer. Thanks, Casey.
1080p.
Bobby Joe. Thanks,
everybody. Just thanks.
George in Iowa. No fan mail this week.
That's okay.
Yeah. So that's the one episode that my wife's parents decided to listen to. First one ever. And it's me ranting about fan mail. So thanks.
Oh, really? That's good.
We're gonna talk about Field of Dreams. Now, some people have said this movie is boring.
I don't know. Who would say that? What kind of describe to me the person that would say this movie is boring?
Well, she likes the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Is a big fan of the show, but apparently doesn't get baseball because I think she's a White Sox fan. So, right away, opinion not valid on any baseball-related topic. But I don't think you can say this movie is boring if you have a love for baseball.
Do you love your family?
I do love my family.
But then you probably love this movie. Obviously, I don't want to go out of bounds or anything, but that's what I think.
So there's not a lot of substance to this movie as far as, and when I say that, I'm not saying it's like in a bad way. What I'm saying is usually like we'll watch a movie and we'll write down stuff throughout the movie and then we can talk about it. This movie is done in monologues. I think like the monologues throughout the movie basically they advance the story from point to point without a lot of different actions. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I sat down with a pencil and a piece of paper. And I'm like, I'm gonna take some notes, and I didn't.
Old school.
I didn't write a single thing. I didn't write anything.
First off, and where are my manners? Where are my effing manners today? MF Jones is with us.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
The fans, I appreciate the support.
So Field of Dreams. Just what's your first memory of it?
I remember going on vacation. I think we got it. We're not really a pay-per-view kind of family, but I remember us being on vacation and us being exhausted and back in the hotel, and then just like flipping through the brochures, and like Dad being like, "We can watch this tonight. This will entertain these kids." I remember I watched it, but my brother and sister fell asleep with my mom and dad. So that's the first time I watched it. Was it pay-per-view in a hotel?
My notes are on my little phone, so I'm not like texting or anything. I don't want anyone to think I'm being rude. So I'm pretty sure I watched this as a child with my mom and sister, or probably my mom. I didn't have a lot of memories of it.
Okay.
Watching it again this morning actually was a spiritual experience. Well, I started last night and then I finished this morning because I was getting tired and I wanted to make sure I remember it. Sometimes I write notes and I go back and I'm like, I don't even know what I was thinking. MF Jones, when did you watch this movie as a child?
I remember watching it. I don't remember really anything about it. However, my father loved the movie, thus I love the movie because he has a love of baseball and got me into the love of baseball. But there wasn't a whole lot about this movie that directly related to what I remembered from the past.
So you watched it again last night.
I did.
And it's the first time in many years you've watched.
At least 20-something years.
Did it speak to you?
I liked it, but I thought it was going to be much different.
What did you expect from it?
Well, I didn't remember the road trip. And I remember a lot more like actual playing, the players playing baseball. That's what I remembered of the movie. But there's only like maybe a total of 5 minutes combined of that actually happening.
No giant octopus, nothing like that. This is just what you just remember more baseball.
Yes.
I will say, if you revisit this movie after not watching it for a while, you do in your mind remember a lot more baseball happening. There's not a lot, which is fine. I mean, once again, I don't want it to be, I don't want it to come across that I am not liking this movie or that I'm ripping it apart. I'm just saying things. I don't want that because I see your face, and every time I say something, you get this. He's gonna fucking tear into this movie. He does every time I like a movie. He's just gonna. That's not what I'm saying.
He'll go. Fine.
But yeah, I do agree with MF Jones over here. I did expect more baseball after not watching it for a while, and it didn't need it, obviously, and we'll talk about it.
It was great. It was a little slow at parts, but I think that feeds into the monologue conversation.
So the movie begins with kind of a voiceover.
Well, he's a man. He gives you a little bit of his life story. How much he was raised with stories of. He was raised of stories of Joe Jackson and Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. One thing I thought of, I just had a lady baby, and I got children's books from the 1985 Bears. So I can literally raise my child on storybooks about the 85 Bears. It has it's got Walter Payton, it's got Mike Ditka, it's got Singletary, it's got Jim McMahon. So I can just read these stories. I can literally do the exact same thing for my baby, but with the Bears instead of baseball players.
Big plans.
Huge plans. So it kind of tells you this backstory of his life, and then how he went to college, farthest away from his dad as possible. Obviously, there's some drama between him and his dad. Comes up later when he talks to Darth Vader later on in the movie, and then he talks about how he met this wife, and he met his wife's family, and he decided to become a farmer in the middle of Iowa. This is what he's doing. He's a 36-year-old man. Here I am, farming in Iowa.
So we were having a discussion in our office yesterday about this movie, and someone asked frequent co-host MH if he, because he loves this movie with a burning passion of 1,000 hells. I don't know what that means. If he's ever been to the field, and he said, "Why would I go to Iowa?" And I agree. Why wouldn't you go to Iowa? Have you ever been to the field? You actually don't live that far from the state. I mean, I don't either, but you're closer.
I went in 2001 to the field. It's in Dyersville, Iowa. There are some, I'll go ahead and put some links in our show notes available at theawesomeidies.com. And they've got a website where they have phantom players come in and they pretend like they're the 8 men that are out. They have them walk in out of the corn and you can play against them. I think they do it once a month in the summer months, like June, July, August, September.
This is where I think they're missing the boat. I think they should just say that there are players out there and you just can't see them. Let's save some money.
You're the guy from 30-something who can't open that door in his mind. Those players are out there.
Busfield. I love Timmy Busfield. Kerry Wood's on TV. Let's continue. So yeah, he's just a guy, never, had a strained relationship with his father. His father, did he say his father was a White Sox fan and then a Brooklyn fan?
He said a White Sox, then a Yankees fan, and then he became a Dodgers fan.
Oh, right. But then the Dodgers left, and then he just left his dad.
They had to find something else to argue about.
So where does this movie take us? What is our central issue?
I just middle-aged unhappiness. I think that's where you begin. It's like, is this it? Is this it? This is good as
there's a Judd Apatow movie called So This Is 40.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like it because they don't like his style and his movies are too long and all those things. But I really like that movie. And I think this movie's in that same genre of, so I'm in my middle age now. Okay.
Now what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Right. I got kids. Just wake up and go to work and come home. That's on the weekends, maybe get around to golf.
Pick up a beer after work and do it again tomorrow. That sounds awesome. So
that's one. That's our understated villain, I guess, is, what is there to do with your life at this age? But then, as always, we have a kind of a villain on screen. I mean,
with Timmy.
Yeah, Timmy Bus. Is he? But he's really not a villain. I mean, like.
Well, he's got to be that guy. Somebody needs to be that voice of reason because the world's full of dreamers. And if you look at the set direction of their house there in Iowa, it's like a typical Iowa farmhouse. But then when you look around, there's like Andy Warhol stuff all over the place, and there's different like little nods to different things from the '60s and counterculture, just free thinking. And then there's other people who weren't really into the '60s. They had 250s and went right on to the '70s.
So as we go about the movie, early on, he's in Iowa. He's unhappy. He's a farmer who doesn't know how to farm. He doesn't.
Am I doing something wrong? Should I be hearing voices out there?
He can't pay his bills.
Well, it feels like they're eking by. They're like, well, we're doing it. Not well, but like he's getting like a C- in farming.
Did they cover why his wife really wanted to move back and become a farmer?
Well, her family's from Iowa.
So that's the only thing to do in Iowa?
Well, yeah. Have you ever been to Iowa?
I don't think I have.
Oh, okay. There's nothing else to do in Iowa.
My wife's family's from Iowa. You can go to a campsite. We did that before.
They have fire in Iowa? That's good.
Yeah.
He's also wrestling with this father issue. He was a dick to his dad.
And he doesn't really want to become his dad either because his dad was just, to him, he was just old. And, nothing's more uncool than being old,
Are you opposed to being on camera?
The baby keeps crying. She's got the pacifier, then she spits it out. And she's like, oh, I'll spit it out again.
So
this game. She loves it.
You're literally fathering while podcasting.
Yes, exactly.
Our company supplies a daycare center for its employees.
Well, we talk to people in HR, and the HR people talk to people in healthcare. Healthcare people, they have the different hours that they have, and you have to put the invoice in ahead of time. Sometimes you don't put that invoice in ahead of time, and then you're screwed. You got the
So-
baby. She's got the baby.
He's outside.
He hears voices.
He hears voices, and he doesn't hear the voices.
Nope.
Just him. And then he starts building the damn baseball.
Baseball field.
Quick. That was one thing.
No,
You've never seen
Michael
these
Frank.
movie with a montage before, Nathan? I don't understand. Everything happens pretty quick.
Not that he built the field really fast in the montage. It's just they got to that part in the movie extremely fast compared to what I remembered. Well, I thought that was in like the middle to end.
The name of the movie is Field of Dreams.
So, Nathan, MF Jones, my apologies. I'm sorry. I deeply apologize.
Everybody's gonna know who I am.
I think it's okay. MF Jones, do you know of anyone who ever just like built a field in their backyard?
I know at least one person.
Who's that?
Am I allowed to say?
Yeah, I think so.
Co-host Michael Carlson.
Well, you just gave his name out.
Just give the name out. People go show up at my house. What are you doing? Oh my God.
Yeah. So, Michael, you have literally a baseball field in your backyard. I've seen it. It's got a scoreboard.
Yeah, it's more wiffle ball size. If you go to different, there's lots of YouTube videos of people that built their own wiffle ball stadiums. And probably 2005, I was like, you make a list. You're in your midlife crisis when you're 25 years old or whatever. And you're like, what do I want from this life? And you're like, I'm going to get anything from this life. I want a wiffle ball field in my backyard. So when we talked to our real estate lady, we went to like 5 different houses. I'm like, yeah, I can't build a wiffle ball field in any of these places.
Now, I think the most surprising and also greatest part of this story is that you married someone who allows this to happen.
Well, like when you're a little kid, you played wiffle ball, and you set up your wiffle ball field. Like you get sometimes you do markers, sometimes you put a chair up. You're like, okay, if you hit it over that, or it bounces off of that, that's a home run. But if it bounces off of that, that's still in play. But see, if I get, just what I really like about being an adult is being able to do exactly what you want to do. I think it's fantastic.
Do you consider yourself an adult? I mean, you bought a house based on the fact that you could build a wiffle ball field in your backyard.
I got a baby. What do you know?
We can turn on MTV right now.
You see people.
I guarantee you that there are children with babies. I promise you.
Yeah. Well, I always wanted a wiffle ball field in my backyard. Just like probably, I don't know. Everyone has like the best summer of their life. Maybe like I was 12 or 13. You have that best summer of your life where you play wiffle ball every day, and that it is just like I have a great time, and you want your kids to have that great time too. And it's like after this gets done, I got to work on the treehouse. I know the baby's about 2 months old, but we got to start working on that treehouse.
So I had a summer like that where we played at the local school at Glen School every day. We'd meet and at 9. No one ever planned it. We just knew just to be there. And then we played at 1, and then we go home for lunch. And then you might go back later. And the thing I remember most about that is I had my awesome Bret the Hitman Hart's glasses, pink ones, and they had the black. I got at the house show, and then they were gone. I left them there, or I thought. But then a week later, this little kid 2 grades below me showed up, and he had those glasses. And he's like, "Oh, I bought them." You're a liar. You're a liar. I have so many other things I want to say right now. You're welcome for me not saying them, BJ. But you're a liar.
Oh, I did want to talk about your father-in-law's backyard. Like they've got a pool. They have a ship. It's like a ship tree house. It looks like
It's a ship.
which is like an eagle's nest, like a crow's nest, and they also have a backstop for a baseball field in their backyard. Which
power for lights. Power.
Yeah.
And
nice.
It's right in the middle of corn, so it kind of gives you this feeling of Field of Dream. Watching this movie last night, I'm gonna ask my father-in-law if this movie inspired him at all to build his. But how much, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much did this movie inspire your life?
What do you mean scale 1 to 10?
I mean 10, you based life-altering decisions on this movie. 1 is that you don't think about this ever when you're making any decision in your life.
Maybe a 3, good solid 3.
I really?
What
I mean,
do you mean as far as like
so
landscaping decisions, outside decisions?
no.
Well, what
did you buy? Did you
Roy
buy
Kinsella do if he had this backyard? Well, he definitely put the scoreboard there, and you want the jumbotron there.
Did you build this baseball field as a partly motivated from this movie, or is this just a separate?
I think what I talked about before, like just more the kidness than this movie, like that summer, like when you're just like,
Okay.
it was like it's a trophy to the greatest summer of my life, just playing wiffle ball every day.
So, like next summer, do you anticipate this being done?
I think. I mean, honestly, I got spent some money on this. You get a lot of pressure treated wood. It's probably half. It's probably 50% pressure treated wood with plywood.
Yes or no question.
It's most of the way done. I could probably play at the end of June.
Next summer. I'm saying next summer.
Yeah, next summer it should be good. I'd say at the end of June it should be good.
Okay. So my proposal is that we stage a kidnapping.
Okay.
And we act like I've been kidnapped for 3 months, and then I just go live in Galesburg, and then I just play every day. We play baseball every day.
Recreate the best summer ever. What are you doing?
So, like, combining 3 Minute a Baby, The Sandlot, and Field of Dreams into one.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones in 2003.
Yes. Do you think Darth Vader being in The Sandlot was based off of this movie? Do you think that's why he got cast?
Well, I think so. Because people associate him with baseball. I think automatically. I mean, they don't mean to. They think Darth Vader and they think baseball.
Because of that ill-fated Star Wars baseball movie.
That Star Wars movie that never got off the ground.
So he builds it, and then we get the awesome quote, "Daddy, there's a man out on your lawn."
Well, one thing that I call it, like after multiple viewings, I've probably seen this movie maybe more than you guys have.
I think so.
So maybe I'm lying to myself, Glenn. Maybe the whole thing is a lie to myself about how this movie has impacted my life and my daily decisions.
Okay, everyone listening knows that. Yeah, you don't have to clarify that. We all
don't. I know you're lying to yourself right now, but you don't have to explain it. I just think that it'll be a beautiful, beautiful day. People playing wiffle ball, but I don't know. Continue, Glenn.
So, Shoeless Joe Jackson is one of the main characters in this movie. Also, in an 80s movie we had previously reviewed, 8 Men Out, a few years ago. We did that movie. He was a central figure, obviously. It was about the Black Sox scandal. Wait a minute. This movie is basically about the White Sox, and she doesn't like it?
To me, it's like a bumper or like semi-sequel, like a fantasy sequel to 8 Men Out. Like, what could happen?
Well, yeah, I guess. Why was there this Shoeless Joe Jackson love affair in the late 80s? I agree with it.
I think people romanticize it a lot, especially like after you read some of the literature and stuff about those players. Like, they talk about maybe Christian Mathewson or Ty Cobb or those other premier players. Like, everybody was betting on baseball. And it was just the thing. Like, everybody was on drugs in baseball, and then few people get blackballed. I mean, those are people get pointed out.
Right. Well, I mean, the 1918 Chicago Cubs tied for the best record ever in the history of regular season baseball. And they famously, well, not famously, but in recent years, famously threw the World Series, and they're the ones who taught the White Sox how to do it.
Like, everyone hates their owner. Owner's a piece of crap. They're not gonna profit share. They're not gonna get this bonus when they make it to the World Series that they should be getting. So the Cubs, in theory, threw the World Series in 18, and then they're like, "Hey, White Sox, you could throw it in 19."
Do you think that they're like, the Cubs are like, we'll get there in a couple more years?
You know what? It's our turn this time, but when we get there again, we'll win. Just to say we won.
So we meet Shoeless Joe. We have conversations. And the question that's asked several times through this movie, which made me laugh because of our conversation yesterday in the office I mentioned earlier with MH, was, is this heaven? No, it's Iowa, aka hell.
Yeah, like I said before, my family's from Iowa, and my father-in-law, he loves that. He'll wake up and just say that. Like, he'll just say those lines out of his mouth. Those words just coming out of his mouth every day. He's like, "Oh no, I'm still in Illinois. Never mind."
I met your father-in-law recently for the first time. I expected a longer-haired, more facial-haired gentleman based off everything I know about him. But
Okay.
it's not what I got.
Well, I think in your mind you imagine like 1981 father-in-law. Like, what do you look like then?
Ah, okay. I see. I got it.
Okay.
We meet Timothy Busfield at this point for the first time. Timothy Busfield is just great in everything he's in. He directs a lot of the things he's in. He was great in Studio 60 on Sunset Strip. Should have gotten many seasons, only got one. Matthew Perry was awesome. Just saying. I love The Bus. I'm just putting that out there.
There's that other baseball movie, A Little Big League, where he plays a first baseman who falls.
I forgot about that.
That movie is horrible, but I like bad movies, so I love it.
So people can't see the players. How do you get to be
Roy can and the little girl can. That's it.
Right, and eventually the wife.
Yep.
How, like, is it a mindset thing? Or like what's the key to being able to see the players? Like just believing?
Well, I think it's like that same part of you that believes in Santa Claus. Like the little girl from Uncle Buck that's in this movie. She believes in magic. At that one point in her life, she hasn't given up on that dream yet. And those other adults they've got their 9-to-5 job, and they've stopped believing in magic. And Roy, maybe that's where he's at. Like he's becoming an adult at 35 or 36, and he's like, do I want to believe in magic or do I want to just sit on this tractor all day?
Dude, how do you not see that you've patterned your life after this? I mean, slapping anyone and everyone who's ever listened to this.
Some kind of breakthrough. Oh God. It's good talk, Glenn. Good talk.
It amazes me that this isn't just like slapping you in the face.
No, it's just a movie, Glenn.
So people, the next thing he hears is ease his pain.
Ease whose pain?
I don't know. It's very vague. Very vague. But then we're going to go to a town meeting. We're going to discuss some good old-fashioned censorship.
Yep. Neo-fascism. Thank you very much, Ronald Reagan. Sorry.
I did not remember this part, but it was good.
The censorship?
Yes, I enjoyed the town hall.
It kind of gives you a little taste of what you're going to deal with in Iowa, but it also lets us know that Ray's wife. Did I write Ray?
Ray's wife. Yeah.
Yeah, Ray.
Yeah, Ray. Sorry. His wife's crazy.
Yeah, but she doesn't take shit from nobody.
She doesn't take shit from anybody.
Yeah, she is just a stand-up.
The book was the James Earl Jones book. What's his name? Thomas Mann in the movie. Terrence Mann, and then they based off of J.D. Salinger. I guess the Catcher in the Rye book, like one of the initial issues, looks just like the book that they're holding up at the book burning rally at the school. Yeah, so they wanna go all Nazi on this thing and kick this book out, and she does not allow that to happen, and she rallies the townspeople against the I don't know, I guess maybe you're supposed to think it's the typical PTA mom, soccer mom, but soccer mom wasn't a thing then. I don't know, but the Harper Valley PTA, like that was a thing.
Yeah. I'm not saying Chris Bryant just hit a 3-run homer, but Chris Bryant just hit a 3-run homer.
Where's my phone at? Dude, I don't know. Well, it kind of feels like this is their freshman year. You know what I'm saying? Like they're all together. I'm talking about the Cubs. Like this is like their freshman year. They play together a few years before everyone peaks. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna play well, but you're not gonna beat the fucking Cardinals. You know what I'm saying?
Best line of this of the town hall meeting was that Terrence Mann masturbates. So random.
Because that means you're probably the devil right there.
So at this point, his wife, she's a tough cookie. She doesn't back down. America, I love you. Yeah, I'm proud of you. Yeah.
I love you.
But all her husband's doing, all Ray's doing is sitting there trying to work out this puzzle in his head. And they go into the hallway and she's all hyped up like you are when you've done something well in life. And and he's just like, I gotta go to Boston. It's like, give her some love, Ray.
You did great. They need words of affirmation. You need quality time. You need gifts. You need acts of service. And she needed quality. She needed words of affirmation. Then probably Ray, Jesus.
You know what? Words of affirmation. We've talked about the love languages.
Okay. Yes.
I hope that people are familiar with the love languages. If not, look it up. Take the quiz. It's not very long. One of my love languages, as you very well know, is positive words of affirmation.
Yes.
And MF Jones yesterday gave me some positive words of affirmation. Made my day. Made my day. That's all it takes. Sometimes you just got to tell people, hey, hang in there.
Good job.
You're doing great.
Good job. So he plays a little catch with Joe Jackson. He does a little BP with Joe Jackson, and now he has to convince his wife. Not only is he going to spend this money and plow under his field to make a field, have Joe Jackson appear, but he needs to go to Boston to find Terrence Mann.
Yeah, he's gonna go see Darth Vader.
Yep.
Darth Vader does not like him. He does not like any of these peace-loving dope people.
Oh, dope.
Because they seem to blame their wrongs on him. The fact that he wrote a fictional book and these people took it to breaking news, they're going to kill the guy in Boston, the bomber. All right. And in the movie we're in Boston, so it's fitting. But that terrorist guy, they're going to shoot him.
Well, what are you going to do?
Yeah, just don't bomb people, I guess.
Yeah.
He goes to Boston. Terrence Mann does not like him, kicks him out of his house.
You get the feeling that this book that he wrote kind of like militarized people, like it made people more up in arms and more angry about certain things. I think especially like later on, Kevin Costner talks about how he got into a fight with his dad over his book that he wrote. But that wasn't why he was there. He was there for baseball reasons only.
So he goes there with his gun.
You can see how other people would show up at his house and be weird and shit too.
Just gonna keep repeating the same. He goes there with his gun.
Okay.
He's gonna kidnap Terrence Mann, but it's not really a gun. It's the old stick 'em up trick.
It's not a gun. It's a finger in your pocket. No, this is a gun.
So Terrence Mann grabs a weapon. He's gonna take him out, and then he convinces Terrence Mann. We're gonna just call him Terry or Tear Bear.
Okay.
He convinces Tear Bear to go to a Red Sox game with him at wonderful historic Fenway Park. They go to the Red Sox game. He buys him a hot dog, and he has a vision. What does he see?
He sees the lifetime stats of a young Archibald Green for the New York Giants.
Moonlight Graham?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Okay. I guess there's something like over 15,000 people that have had the exact same experience because Moonlight Graham, like apparently he's a real baseball player, but I guess there's other 15,000 other players that just played one game.
One game.
Yeah.
They got to the show.
Yeah, they at least play that one game, so that's pretty cool.
One more game than I played.
Yeah.
So he sees the stats. He hears a whisper, and does MF Jones, does Terrence hear this?
Eventually, you find out that he does.
Yeah, he
lies.
lies.
You don't get the impression he does.
He lies. It's a ruse.
What did he say?
I think Terrence just wanted to see how this was going to play out. You know, he wanted to see.
Be weird and try to kidnap me more, or is he just going to be like, "All right, see ya. Thanks for hanging out."
Yeah. So at this point, you could tell that Mr. Costner, Mr. Dances with Wolves, is pretty discouraged.
Mr. The Postman, Mr. Waterworld, yes.
Very up and down.
Did you say the Postman?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Mr.
So, Mr. Bull Durham decides that he doesn't know why Terrence. He doesn't know why now. He's kind of lost. He's just lost in this. He doesn't want to keep wasting Terrence's time. He drops him off. He goes to drive away, and Tear Bear's like, "Stop! Get back here, Mr. Perfect World. We need to talk."
That's good size for a wiener, Mr. Perfect World. That scene always weirded me out. Sorry, Imperfect World. Anyway.
Yeah, it was a really creepy scene.
Yeah.
Great movie, by the way. If you've never seen it, it's a Clint Eastwood directed movie. It's very slow, so you need to be awake. But just an awesome movie.
It's good.
Clint Eastwood, Kevin Costner. There is a weird scene with Kevin Costner reassuring an 8-year-old that his wiener is an
It's a
okay
good
size.
size. It's a good size wiener.
But don't be too discouraged by that. It's still a decent movie, and that's the deal. Yeah, when he walks in, when he's banging the waitress.
Or whatever. No big deal. It's still good.
Yeah. So they decide they got to go to Minnesota. They get to Minnesota. Things get all weird in Minnesota.
They go and they do like a little backstory with Archie Graham, who is Doc Brown.
They needed time.
Yeah.
A lot of Minnesota seemed like filler.
Yeah.
Anyway, Costner sits down with the ghost of Moonlight Graham.
Mm-hmm.
But Moonlight,
he sees that he's traveled through time. He looks at the license plate and he sees 1972, The Godfather's on the marquee of the movie theater. And the way that the townspeople described him earlier, he just shows up in this guy that everyone was describing, a guy with a cane walking and looking for hats. And he finds him, sits down and talks to him about baseball. He's like, I got to take you back to Iowa with me.
But he doesn't want to go because the town, that's where he is. And that's what his life wasn't that one game. His life was everything he did after it.
I mean, they talk about like, would you give up on that stuff? And like just him talking to the townspeople, like he made sure kids were clothed, fed, had eyeglasses. Like he was important to those people. You have like this, it's a wonderful life moment with these people. Like the choices that were made of not going back to the minor leagues the next year, the choices of made of going to medical school, really it bettered him and it bettered the town. But still, he really had a thing in him where he still wanted to play baseball.
So he stays. We find out that the farm is about to be foreclosed on by his wife's brother,
Tim Busfield.
But Tear Bear is like, you know what? I'm coming back to Iowa with you. I'm supposed to see. I was brought in this deal for a reason. As they're driving, they've got a Cubs thing right there. They pick up the hitchhiker.
When they're driving, you could hear the Allman Brothers and also the Doobie Brothers, all the great brothers from the late 70s or late 70s, like 60s, early 70s.
It's racist.
Okay.
Apparently, the hitchhiker sleeps like the whole rest of the trip because you see them talking and he never pops up.
No.
And then as they get close, he points it out. Ray says, there it is. You see the lights and you see the players, and they can both see him. Hitchhiker can see it, and Tear Bear can see it. Little
Archie can see it.
Yeah, the hitchhiker. Yeah. This episode, you're just undermining everything.
I'm sorry. I'm excited.
Stepped all over my gun joke 3 times.
He pulled out a gun. No, he pulled out a gun.
I don't know how many times
pulled out a gun.
You just talk over. I mean, we're gonna have post-show meeting.
Post-show.
Will you schedule that?
Post-show powwow. Gotcha.
Did you put it in the? We got a calendar. We got to go.
Put it in the notes right now.
Did he put
Don't
it?
ask us to use the Google Calendar. We can't.
Not in the Google Calendar that I'm not.
So now we have this. We watched the players play. Everyone, they're both crazy, having fun. Moonlight Graham suits up, but it's the young Moonlight Graham. He suits up. He goes in. They have some fun with some high heaters and some winking. But the next day, Uncle Bus comes over to ruin everybody's fun. Why does Uncle Bus want to ruin our fun?
Because they're going to foreclose and they're going to lose the house. They're going to lose the farm. They're going to lose everything.
He made a great deal rent-free. He could live there rent-free.
He just cares about his sister and her kid. I'm just doing it for them. I'm not a heartless banker.
So he can't see them because he doesn't believe. He's just a money man. So he can't see the players. And then he basically assaults a little girl.
He assaults his niece and shakes her off the top of the bleachers that was recently built, and she chokes on a hot dog and almost dies.
He's lucky her Uncle Buck wasn't there, or stuff would have went down.
Yeah.
So he assaults a little girl. And then Archibald has to make the decision. Do I want to keep playing and live? Does my ghost want to keep playing, or do I want to save this little girl? And he saves the little girl because he got the taste of it. He got to play just one day, and that's all it meant, and that's all he needed. He got a hit, he got a sack fly, he got an RBI. That's all he needed, and it was worth it to him. And he's got to get home before his wife thinks he's got a girlfriend. So at this point, Terror Bear has the great idea. You build it, they will come.
They will come, Glenn.
Did they come? Wait, don't answer that yet. We got a few more movies. And Terror Bear gives one of the more legendary speeches, I would say, of cinema.
Yeah. I mean, it's been, especially on ESPN, like it feels like every year, every other year, they try to use this scene like in some kind of spoof or some kind of like motivational thing for one of their commercials.
Tosh.0 recently spoofed this for Dead Wrestlers.
Okay.
Very offensive. I enjoyed it though. So
I think he's a wrestling fan. You can kind of tell from.
Okay, no, he's very much a wrestling fan. He does lots of wrestling stuff, and he hates Arn Anderson, which is awesome. So baseball is the one constant. So in people's lives, how many times do you think you've just listened to this speech? Like not the movie, you just stopped and just listened.
I did a couple times last night. Other than that, I mean, seeing the commercials, there's lots of motivational stuff, so maybe more than that. But yeah.
So at this point, I'm kind of tearing up a little.
So you sent me a message earlier that said Niagara Falls Frankie Angel. Was this the scene that made you start to?
Well, it started here and it goes through to the end. And I sent you and MF Jones a picture of me crying. I'm an ugly crier. Ugly crier.
Look at his face. Oh God, look at his ugly face. Okay, go ahead.
Have you ever cried during this movie?
I think it's one of those movies where, like, once you have kids and everything, it's a different movie as you age. Like the movie.
Yeah, I think the kid thing today really got to me. So ends up they invite Terrence to the corn.
Mm-hmm.
It's out there. They don't invite Ray. That upsets him at first.
What's in it for me? I plowed my field under. I built this baseball field, drove halfway across the country and back. What's in it for me?
So that's what you want? What's in it for you?
What's in it for you, Ray?
So at this point, Mr. Big Chill, Ray.
Yeah.
Aha!
Yes, Mr. Dead Guy and Big Chill.
His only scene the movie got cut. Anyway, at this point,
double entendre, Glenn. Cut.
At this point, Terrence calms him down, and what does Terrence end up doing? MF Jones.
I'm still trying to figure out what happens, but he basically just disappears.
He goes into the corn. Just goes into the corn.
Sacrifices himself for the greater good of baseball.
So this is my question: can he come back out of the corn like the players, or is he dead now? Like what?
I think he self-actualized and transcended to a different plane. I don't think he can ever come back again.
Okay. Can I do that?
Have you ever been to Dyersville, Iowa? Maybe you could give it a try, Glenn.
Why would I go to Iowa? Anywho,
I'd recommend it to anyone, even if you like the movie, you like baseball or not. It's pretty fantastic. They encourage people to just go out on their field and play baseball.
Oh, also, Mark, played by Dr. Timothy Busfield, sees them a few minutes before this and then tells them not to sell.
Because the magic's in his heart after the girl right. Doesn't die from choking.
He's a believer. Ray's kind of just left in a state of, I just lost my best friend who I've only known for 30 minutes of movie time, into the corn. What's going to happen? How am I going to be complete again? And then his father comes out. The one thing that's been nagging at him his whole life that he's not been able to fix.
His dad was catching that whole game ahead of time. He didn't even realize it was dad. His dad was catching.
You wanna throw a game? What does he say?
Like it?
Yeah, you wanna grab a catch, Dad, or something?
Have a catch, which doesn't make sense. But people have catches, I guess.
Yeah. And then what are you grinning at, you ghost? I don't know why I love that line. But they have a catch, and it kind of fades out, and I'm bawling. I'm not bawling. It wasn't like a full-fledged, like, body shaking cry. It was just like tearing up, coming up.
I'm a man. I don't cry.
Oh, I cry. I'm a crier. And then we do the zoom out overhead. You see lights for miles of long. You assume people are coming. The world's going to be okay.
People are turning the lights on and off again.
Is this a good ending, MF Jones? Be honest.
I thought the end of the movie just kind of faded away, just like the players in the game.
Yeah, I don't know what I wanted, but I just felt like I wanted something else.
You wanted something more?
Yeah, but maybe that's not fair because I can't tell you what I would have wanted.
Yeah. I had some questions, but overall about the movie. There's a movie that came out in 1994 that was called Pulp Fiction that didn't win Best Picture with the Oscars. Forrest Gump did.
Forrest Gump beat it.
A lot of people compare this to Forrest Gump. Like, do you think it's in the same kind of genre as Forrest Gump?
No.
Which one do you think holds up better? Which one would you recommend people watching?
That's tough. I recommend both.
Okay.
Because Forrest Gump it's iconic.
Yeah.
Whereas this movie, it leaves an impression on you. A positive impression. In my words, some other people think it's boring. But I have to say I enjoy this movie a lot. Hey, real quick. My significant other is here. Does your father, to your knowledge, like Field of Dreams? Like, did he build that?
They joke about it.
Okay. So it's a thing. You speculated on that earlier.
But like, I think in a different life, me and her father would be best friends. I think.
I think Carlson and Carl would get along great if in a different life or this life.
We'll see.
As well.
It's just a few miles that separate us. So Shoeless Joe gets another chance in this movie. He gets to play baseball again. There's another baseball player that's kind of famous named Pete Rose. Do you think he should get another chance again? Do you think that'll happen in his lifetime?
No, because he has a crazy reality show with his crazy wife, and I don't think that he's going to get another chance.
Apparently, he likes to procreate.
Yeah. He likes to do it far east. So here's my question, and I could have looked this up, and maybe you don't know. Shoeless Joe never got to be in the Hall of Fame, right?
No, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
But he should be. He didn't do anything wrong.
Well, he knew about the cheating, but he didn't say anything about the cheating.
So you're going to tell me that...
I mean, I've seen 8 Men Out, so I'm pretty much an expert. So him and Buck Weaver weren't cheating. They just knew about it, didn't do anything.
Yeah, but you're going to tell me that people didn't know that Mark McGwire was on roids, or that Terry Bonds was on roids. Some of their teammates are in the Hall of Fame, and they obviously knew.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Just send a message. It's just, it's not fair for everyone, especially like, I'll talk about this later, but in like the 60s and 70s, like everyone was on uppers. Like everyone was constantly on the greenies. And it's like, those people are in the Hall of Fame and they're on drugs the whole time. It's just, which drugs are bad, which drugs are good.
So the movie's over. Hit us. I know you got stuff. Just throw it at us.
I guess the Field of Dreams, the name of it, they were going to go with Shoeless Joe, and then they contacted the author, and they didn't we don't like Shoeless Joe. They're not going to, let's just do Field of Dreams.
I agree with that decision.
And the original book that Roy Kinsella handed in to the writer, he's the person that actually wrote the book. He handed it in to the publisher. It was called Dreamfield. And it's like, well, I wanted it to be called Dreamfield anyway. So it went from Dreamfield to Shoeless Joe back to Field of Dreams.
I like Field of Dreams out of all those.
Yeah.
Next.
Do you really, did Jake watch this? What did he think of it?
Jake did not watch this, and I don't think at this point in his life he's ready. I don't think it would mean anything to him now. He's just starting to get into baseball now because for most of his life the Cubs have been really bad. And so now that he's really getting into watching the games with me every night, we watch them every night they're on, and he's really getting into it. So I think maybe like another year, I don't want his first experience for him not to fully grasp it, because then he'll just turn an eye to it and he won't come back. And I think that happened with me. So I'm learning.
So, I mean, I guess baseball is probably my favorite sport. I don't know. I really like football, but I think baseball is still my favorite. Do you think there's going to be a time where baseball will be the number one sport in America again?
I actually thought about this last night, and I don't think there will be that time, which is sad. But baseball, although is starting to make a comeback, and here's one of the keys to it, if you want to get deep into it, is football programs. Okay, Brian?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, good. Football programs around the country, especially at schools, are going to cease to be within 15 years. Is my prediction.
All the concussions and everything.
Yeah, I think that there will still be adolescent football, but it will be privatized and sponsored, but not through the school necessarily. Because at some point, once one school district gets hit with a lawsuit, they're going to come flooding in, and the public infrastructure just can't support fighting these lawsuits. And so when that happens, and it will happen, football is going to go to a more privatized situation, and that's going to hopefully encourage more people to play baseball. And there's a lot of these two-sport stars out there who always pick football over baseball because of the immediate money.
No, I fucking hate Brett Favre. But what if he played baseball? Like, what if he was a pitcher instead of a fucking quarterback? You know, like, how great of a pitcher could he have been? You know what I'm saying?
Russell Wilson was drafted by the Cubs, I think.
Yeah.
Super Bowl winning quarterback.
No, it was Kaepernick. Kaepernick was.
Oh yeah, Russell Wilson was drafted by the Rangers.
Kaepernick was by the Cubs.
There's a very real possibility with the way that the dialogue is going and the way these football players are quitting at an early age, that the decision will be baseball for some of these guys in 5 years, 10 years. Even though baseball takes longer to make the money and you have to work your way up, whereas football, you're instantly on the squadron. I think that for health reasons, you're going to see more guys make that decision to go to baseball. So it will get a bump. Football is so massive in this country, and it's such a juggernaut that I just don't see baseball surpassing it. Plus, with the attention span of where we're at now, baseball's 162 games. Football's 16.
Yeah, I know. It just feels like, I mean, each team has like two good pitchers, but just sometimes you go to the ballpark, you're not going to see that good pitcher. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to see that team's best. I guess that's the biggest. I mean, there's too many damn games. I wish it was a little shorter, but especially with this month and a half of playoffs we're going to have. Also, there's this movie coming out with David Morse and Will Smith called Concussion. David Morse plays one of the first guys that ever came out. What is it called? The encephalopathy, whatever. Yeah. It's like a term for it. Anyway, he plays Mike Webster. He's one of the first like middle linebacker. I think he's on Pittsburgh. One of the Iron Curtain guys.
Center.
Yeah, he was one of the Iron Curtain guys, and he was one of the first people like something's wrong with my fucking brain. Yeah. And so I mean, it's got Will Smith in it. Hopefully, people will see it. I mean, dude, I would not tell my kids to play football. I mean, I got a lady baby, but if I had a boy shot, I wouldn't be like, yeah, you should play football. You know.
I love watching football, but I would never let my son play football. And that's sad to say, and I'm sure people would be like, "Oh, you pussy,
America, you're a pussy."
Yeah, exactly. But you got to think of life term, and some of these guys, their quality of life just goes down.
Like, how many of these people can stand up straight? How many of these people can make a fist or walk up a flight of stairs? You know what I'm saying? Or, can remember where they live. Like, there's that article in Sports Illustrated about Jim McMahon, personal hero, don't care. I'll throw it out there. And he has to write down his name of his girlfriend and his address in his wallet in case he gets lost.
Yeah. Yeah. And as more of these cases come out, and we've talked a lot about it, but as more of these cases come out, people are going to play football less, and they're going to hopefully go back to baseball.
We'll see.
And
but
baseball,
I'm trying to get my soapbox. I like baseball.
Jake's actually in the place across the street, the field. He's been playing with the neighborhood kids recently, so that's encouraging. All right, so next, move on.
We're going to go ahead and have our seventh inning stretch, and then we're going to come back right after that and talk about our top 10.
Okay.
Today Guest conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, actor and Chicago native Jeff Garland.
All right, everybody, I know I can hear you. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. For it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs.
Awesome job, Goldberg Zad.
I thought it was great. This is from the a Cub game probably a week and a half ago that I put on here, and it was he was like, "Go Cubs, get some runs, and remember to watch the Goldbergs on ABC, everybody." That was awesome.
Eddie Vedder did it the other night. And
Yeah.
It's weird to hear someone who actually knows how to sing do it.
Whoa, what are you doing singing this like a song?
And he tries not to, but like it just keep.
I'm Eddie Vedder.
So, what is your top that?
Keeping with the baseball theme. Did you watch the documentary about Doc Ellis? It's on Netflix.
I want to.
It's on the Netflix.
If I will put it in my queue. If you're not familiar with Doc Ellis, he did not know he was pitching one day. This is in the 70s. So he took some LSD and then found out he had to pitch, and he pitched a no-hitter while on acid. However, he walked a lot of guys, and that's a home run for Anthony Rizzo. Sorry.
Okay, I got it. Okay.
So yeah, he pitched an entire no-hitter on LSD while tripping. And if you go back and watch, and well, you saw the documentary, but you can tell he was not in his right mind.
So it gives you, kind of gives you the snapshot into his life, like what it was like for him playing baseball. The big thing that I thought that came out of it was he's an African American baseball player, and he was the kind of guy who wasn't going to take shit. And he got a letter from Jackie Robinson, and he talked about how his generation of baseball players needs to be the generation of African Americans that doesn't take shit. So he was kind of famous for being the guy with a chip on his shoulder, being a dick to people. But I mean, like that first generation of black players, you just have to be like, yes, sir, no, sir, whatever you want. But like that second and third generation, you'll be like, no, I'm a man. You have to treat me like a man. Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
He was like that. But eventually he hits rock bottom. He threatens his wife with a gun, and then I don't want to ruin anything, but he ends up turning his life around. He is becoming a motivational speaker, and then probably he talks about from 1981 on, he didn't touch alcohol or drugs at all. So he went to prisons. He went and talked to at-risk youth. So I mean, it's definitely a positive story about somebody who had a pretty, he threw a no-hitter. He had all this talent, and he probably could have pitched longer, but he kind of, it's still a fun story. Yeah.
Real quick, I'd like to thank my parents for these Red Lobster glasses from 1987.
Oh, that's nice.
I have the set.
You ever get the 7-Up glasses? It's like a Coke glass, but it's upside down.
Yeah, I remember those. All right, my top that is you. At this point, as we're sitting here, there are 4 David Letterman episodes left.
Oh wow.
I, as you know, or I don't know if I've talked about it on the show, had a very deep obsession with David Letterman in my youth. Every book about him, I'd stay up and watch him every night from junior high on. I loved David Letterman. And I, as many people have, kind of, I just don't watch late night TV but I've been recording for the last week and a half or so every episode and watching it the next day. And what a joy has it been. Because these are the best of the best guests. Bill Clinton was on the other night, Julia Roberts last night, and they always have like this making out thing that they do. So that was really fun to watch again. What? Clinton? No. Well, Clinton likes to make out with a lot of people. I'm trying to think of the guests. The other Don Rickles and Howard Stern were both on one episode. These are the best of the best, and it really is an end of probably that classic late night era. He's the last one from Carson to, and a lot of people are making Leno jokes. He actually asked Leno to come back for his final week, And Adam Sandler actually wrote a song the other night about Letterman, and he made a nice joke about Leno in it. But Leno declined the invitation, which is fine. And Dave said he understood why. So I think Oprah might be on tonight. But anyway,
is Uma Thurman going to be on also?
No, that was Michael Uma. Oprah. Still, by the way, does not deserve it.
I thought he did all right. No, everyone was down on him. I thought he did all right. He did better than most people.
Anyway, check it out, guys. This is it. Like, this is the last of an icon. And I remember watching the final days of Carson and like just being how good they were. And now getting to relive that again with Letterman. These are the best guests there are that he's ever had. I mean, he's handpicking his favorites. So check it out, guys. I know they're on CBS.com if you want to go back and watch some of the ones from the last couple of weeks. But you only have 4 episodes left. So tonight, which is Friday, and then next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is his last show. So please do that. And finally, have you watched the new Vacation trailer?
No, I guess so. The Red Band trailer is fantastic.
Yeah. Have you seen it? No, not yet. It is awesome. I hope that all the jokes aren't just isolated into that, but guys, check it out. Like, it's awesome. It's funny. In the trailer, there's a glory hole and rim job joke. So that's just the trailer.
Glorious.
You know, for the kids, we got to have those jokes in there for the kids.
My dad's already planning a Tucker movie night where the whole family goes.
Oh, going. Get in the van.
So anyway, check it out. I'm really hoping it's not one of those situations where they gave us the best of the jokes already. I don't think it is. I'm very excited about it. We'll talk more about it as we get to that point. But do you have anything left, Jones?
Actually, I do have a shout out. I want to say thank you to Bobby Joe for all of her help, especially with the technical difficulties we've had over the last week or so. But especially a shout out to my dad. It was his birthday yesterday, and there were so many great 80s moments and memories, and he is part of basically every single one of them. And this movie was probably one of my greatest memories with and of him. So thank you, Dad.
Awesome. Well, I'm Lawrence.
I'm F. Jones.
This is Michael.
Stay awesome, everybody.
Stay awesome, everybody.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.